A man headed to a beach in Florida to fish when he stumbled onto something unusual.
Hey, big storm last night, Destin, Florida. These sharks' teeth are everywhere. Look, there's one. There's another one too. They're everywhere, man. Everywhere.
After a heavy storm hit Destin the night before, shark teeth were scattered everywhere. He pointed out one piece after another, amazed at the sheer amount. Some believe the teeth could be ancient remains, possibly stirred up by the storm's power from a megalodon. Others think they might belong to some massive creature still roaming the ocean. This has sparked renewed theories that the megalodon might still exist. So what exactly did he uncover that day? Two fishermen were recording their work trip when everything took a dangerous turn. A shark burst out of the ocean, launching straight upward.
Whoa! Holy crap! It dove right out of the water!
You see that?
Man!
Only a thin sheet of steel stood between one of them and the predator's impact. In that moment, he realized just how exposed he truly was. The moment showed how brutal the open ocean could be. A quiet paddleboarding outing on Lake Pleasant in Arizona turned dangerous when a sudden dust storm rolled in. The sky dimmed, winds became violent, and visibility vanished. The girls dialed 911 as panic set in. The lake is known for claiming lives. They never shared updates on how they escaped, but they clearly survived. The footage eventually surfaced on TikTok after the harrowing storm left them shaken on the unpredictable desert lake that. On July 20th, 2025, Bowley left for a fishing trip in northern Queensland. His morning started calmly, just another routine outing on the water, until everything went wrong.
I just got the hook in my thumb really bad. Like, really bad.
A hook drove straight through his thumb, leaving him in intense pain and shock. The injury was severe.
Look at that. That's a doozy. Far out. Well, that's probably my day ruined. Well, that right there is not exactly what you want to happen. I don't even know what to do, man. I'm 100 k's by out. It's nearly gone through my whole thumb. Like, it's very bad.
Nearly punching all the way through, and he was stranded far offshore with no one nearby to assist. Realizing he couldn't continue, he turned back toward land, hoping to find help before the situation worsened. Fortunately, he encountered someone who could assist and managed to get the hook removed safely. A few days later, Bowley returned to the water. Two men were out fishing when one of them noticed what looked like a person standing on the surface of the water. As he moved in closer, he realized it was another fisherman balancing on an overturned boat.
Only you were on it? How long ago did you capsize? How long ago? How long has it been?
Yesterday.
Oh wow.
I came fishing. And the water comes to the bottom.
You want water?
Can you take me in the feminine?
No, man. We get Coast Guard.
Got a water for you here.
Okay.
You don't want it?
Okay.
Okay.
You alright?
It was just you on the vessel?
Yeah, only me.
Man, you're 100 miles from Bimini.
Oh.
This is South Florida.
Yeah, you're off Boynton Beach or Boca right now.
Everyone help me. Everyone pass me.
Coast Guard's coming. You want a water?
Yo. Huh?
You want a water? Okay.
He was the only one aboard when it flipped. The vessel had rolled earlier, water flooding through the back and pulling it down. When asked how long he had been there, he indicated it had happened the day before. He explained he had been fishing when water started rushing in through the rear. The men offered him water and kept checking on him while keeping some distance. He said he had been alone on the vessel. They informed him he was drifting roughly 100 miles from Bimini and now deep in South Florida waters, far off from where he should have been. The Coast Guard was already on the way. His unclear responses made the situation feel odd, as though he wasn't sharing the full truth. Experienced sailors often warn that encounters like this can carry hidden risks. The two handled it properly, offering assistance but avoiding bringing a stranger on board, knowing how quickly a situation at sea can turn dangerous. Tate from the channel Fishing with Tate was recording a normal fishing vlog when everything suddenly shifted.
Yeah, are you good? Are y'all good? Do y'all know what's going on? Apparently there's a shooter over there.
Where at?
Yeah, y'all need to know.
While out on the lake, he received a call warning him about a potentially dangerous situation nearby. Moments later, gunshots rang out from the woods surrounding the water.
Gunfire, brother.
Realizing how serious things were, he and his friend decided to leave immediately.
Reference, right here's the map of where we are right now. The gunshots literally could have been from an active shooter. No cap, not even kidding. It's really dangerous that we're even out here right now. The guy's supposedly in the woods right now. If you can see, there's woods everywhere. So I'm not just trying to build this up. It's pretty sketchy.
To show viewers their position, he pulled up a map of the area, explaining that the sounds could easily have come from an active shooter. It wasn't an exaggeration. The situation was genuinely dangerous, especially with the suspect possibly hiding somewhere in the tree line. Thick forest covered the entire area, making it impossible to know where the shooter might have been. He emphasized that he wasn't trying to dramatize the moment. The entire situation felt genuinely unsettling, and staying there any longer would have been a real risk. These friends were enjoying a relaxed day of fishing when things took a turn.
I be in Wale or somewhere on Mono Beach. I be in
During a cast, the hook shot directly into his buddy. A lure meant for catching fish ended up snagging human skin instead. Luckily, the injury wasn't as serious as it looked. Still, it's a reminder to stay careful while fishing. A fisherman moved toward a bridge when he noticed another boat nearby. A man was lying there asleep, or at least that's what it appeared to be. He was stretched out, looking completely relaxed. He must have been exhausted to drift off in that spot. Would you have checked on him or let him rest? Jazz, an angler who regularly records his fishing outings, returned to the Yarra River, the same place where a tree had once crashed dangerously close to him. This time, the fish weren't cooperating, so he moved to another spot, and that's when things changed.
Where did he go? He's gone, man. There he is. He's underwater. There he is. Tiger. I could hear him coming down the hill. I just couldn't get away because I was sliding down the hill. He flared up. He's right in that middle bit of shade there. He was sitting right where my rods are, and I slipped on the grass and I almost fell on top of him because I couldn't stop.
He heard it coming down the hill but couldn't get away fast enough because he was sliding. The snake raised its body in a defensive posture, settling in the patch of shade right where he had placed his rods. While trying to reposition himself, he slipped on the grass and nearly fell directly onto the snake. In such a remote area, getting medical help would have been nearly impossible. The close call left him shaken as he realized just how narrowly he had avoided what could have been a fatal encounter. In November 2012, Jose Salvador Alvarenga, a 36-year-old fisherman from El Salvador, set out on a short shark fishing trip off Mexico's coast. A violent storm struck, destroying their equipment and leaving him and his crewmate, 22-year-old Ezequiel Cordoba, drifting helplessly.
Padre Señor bendito, digo yo, que me volcó la lancha. Al segundo tumbo me tiré. Ya, la lancha, yo andaba nadando. Yo me alejaba de la lancha porque no me golpeara. La lancha se la lleva. Y me tiré nadando. Llegando a tierra, ya no pude caminar.
With no supplies left, they survived by catching fish, turtles, and birds, and by drinking rainwater, turtle blood, and even their own urine. When food was scarce, Alvarenga chewed his fingernails to ease hunger. After 10 weeks, Cordoba died from illness and starvation, leaving Alvarenga alone. He continued drifting for over 14 months, carried roughly 6,500 miles across the Pacific. Passing ships never noticed him. On January 30th, 2014, he finally reached Ibn Atoll in the Marshall Islands, where locals found and rescued him. His ordeal has inspired many and raised questions, but it remains one of the most extraordinary survival stories ever recorded. On the Trinity River, YouTuber Blue Gabe set out hoping to catch catfish, but ended up hooking something far larger than he expected.
There she goes.
There you go. Come on over there. There's it. Oh! That's the biggest gar. Grab that GoPro. Okay. Grab that GoPro. This is the biggest alligator gar I've ever seen.
As he worked the rod, he realized he had connected with the biggest alligator gar he had ever encountered. The rod bent under the immense pressure, and the fight dragged on, forcing him to push his strength to the limit. The mud along the bank sucked him in up to his knees as he tried to gain better footing, underscoring how massive the fish truly was.
No! Look at me. I'm in the mud up to my knees. Oh my goodness. It's a big one. This is a big one. Look at his old nose. This is a 100+ pound fish. CeeLo.
See you, baby.
CeeLo. I'm actually nervous with this fish.
You need some help, brother?
No?
You got her good. She's not going nowhere.
Yeah, but they'll hit you in. Oh my gosh. They will hit you in the head. There's no way I'm gonna be able to pick this fish up. My foot's there. Look at this. Giant. No way. It's bigger than me.
Its worn, aged snout made it clear this was an old and exceptionally large gar, easily weighing well over 100 pounds. The sheer size of the creature made him nervous, knowing how violently these fish can thrash and how dangerous a strike could be. When he finally pulled it in close, he realized lifting it would be nearly impossible. The fish was enormous, bigger than he had anticipated, and seeing it up close only highlighted its prehistoric appearance. After an exhausting battle, the giant gar finally surfaced, revealing its full size. These ancient fish can grow beyond 8 feet and exceed 300 pounds, earning a reputation as living fossils with a lineage dating back more than 100 million years. Honoring the river and the creature, Gabe released the massive gar back into the depths. In December 2002, kayaker Curtis May and his friends took on the Five Kings waterfalls in Chiapas, Mexico.
Okay. I'm not dead.
After completing the third drop, Curtis drifted off his intended line and was dragged behind the falls, becoming trapped in the pounding water for 75 minutes. Every attempt he made to push himself free failed as the force of the current kept him pinned. His team worked desperately to reach him. Wesley forced his way through a tight opening behind the falls, while Isaac pulled from the outside using a rope.
Go, go! Go, go! Go, go!
coordinating their efforts as the water roared around them. The situation was chaotic, with both rescuers pushing themselves to their limits to get close enough to help. After repeated attempts and their combined strength, Curtis finally managed to break free from the waterfall's grip. He emerged exhausted but alive, shaken from the ordeal, but able to stand with the support of his friends. The incident proved how extreme conditions on the water can become, and how vital experience, teamwork, and calm decision-making are in dangerous situations. Without the coordinated effort of his crew, the outcome could have been very different. During that same period in the waters of western Antarctica, a team of researchers from the University of Virginia identified a previously unknown predator. When the ROV's light struck it, the creature measured about half a meter in length, its body nearly transparent. Its jaws were filled with hundreds of tiny teeth that looked almost like glass. This species, called Acrothodus gouldi, the Antarctic dragonfish, survives in absolute darkness where temperatures stay below freezing. Its tissues hold specialized enzymes that stop its blood from freezing, and its clear teeth reflect virtually no light, letting it stalk prey unseen. It shows that even in Earth's most punishing places, nature still shapes flawless hunters, and it raises how many others remain unseen below in the deep dark ocean today still. In Japan's Suruga Bay, marine researchers captured video that startled people worldwide. They lowered a steel cage loaded with bait more than a mile down to monitor small sharks, but instead a huge dark form emerged and filled the entire view. The cage, over 30 feet across, suddenly seemed tiny as the massive creature glided by. Its scale surpassed even the whale shark, the largest documented fish on Earth. The recording ended in silence, with only the metallic vibration of the cage shaking in the deep. Specialists had a single guess. It might be a surviving megalodon, an ancient predator believed to have vanished 3 million years ago. But if that is accurate, how could something so immense remain alive for so long without ever being noticed by humans? And then from the frigid waters of the Black Sea came another finding that stunned the internet. A Russian diver named Irina Volva recorded footage believed by many to show an ancient marine reptile, the plesiosaur. In the clip, she moves beside a massive creature with a long neck and wide flippers, drifting slowly through the hazy water. Scientists quickly began debating how a species thought to have disappeared more than 65 million years ago could still be alive today. Some argued it was genuine evidence of a prehistoric survivor, while others insisted it was advanced cheap. But if the footage wasn't fabricated, what else might have remained hidden beneath the Black Sea for countless years? Yet even that discovery was mild compared to what followed creatures straight from legend appearing on camera, edging closer to humans than anyone believed possible. The first clip is said to have been recorded by a research crew operating near McMurdo Station, where temperatures can fall to -40 degrees Fahrenheit. While drilling through the ice to obtain deep water samples, their steel hook suddenly caught on something unusually heavy, and when they hoisted it upward, the entire group went silent in shock. A gray, frozen body more than 6 feet long slowly rose from the ice. Its head was disproportionately large, its mouth hanging open to expose rows of teeth resembling those of a shark, and its arms ended in long, curved claws that looked like corroded metal. Some even reported hearing a horrifying cry, as though it was fighting against the researchers. It might have been an ancient predator that once lived in the deep sea, related to the marine reptile known as the mosasaur, or possibly a form of evolution unknown to science. Others, however, believed it was manufactured, the result of a hidden experiment buried for decades. And what unsettled everyone the most was this: after that day, its fate became a mystery. Did they truly awaken something that was never meant to exist beneath the Antarctic ice? When Antarctic divers first came across this fish, they believed their eyes were deceiving them. Its body looked transparent, its organs gleaming under their lights, yet there was no red hue, no visible vessels, and no normal circulation. This is the icefish, the only vertebrate on Earth lacking hemoglobin, the protein that gives blood its color and carries oxygen. Instead, its body holds clear plasma, allowing oxygen to pass directly through its skin and water near freezing, where ordinary blood would turn solid. The icefish endures because its plasma stays liquid and its body temperature matches the surrounding ocean. It stands as a contradiction to biology: no blood, no pigment, no protective enzymes, yet it survives and reproduces. That is why researchers call it Antarctica's paradox, a creature that challenges evolutionary limits. Before you is an 8-limbed creature creeping slowly along the ocean floor, yet its legs stretch nearly 1.5 feet, while its body is no larger than a small coin. This is the Antarctic sea spider, an oversized marine arthropod that grows almost 10 times bigger than its relatives in warmer regions. Researchers have confirmed that in near-freezing habitats, metabolic rates drop sharply, allowing oxygen to move through the body more effectively, which is what enables the spider to reach such enormous proportions. It moves slowly, has very little red pigment, and spends most of its life isolated beneath the ice. Its unsettling appearance has earned it the title living fossil, evidence that Antarctica still shelters creatures from ages long before humans existed. Now we move to Canada, where a traveler unintentionally recorded what he described as a nightmare beneath the glass-clear waters of Okanagan Lake. The surface looked calm until sudden, forceful ripples began to rise. When he zoomed in, he distinctly noticed a long, shadowy shape coiling below the water. Only a small section broke the surface, but it was enough to unsettle anyone watching. It appeared to stretch at least 20 feet in length. No one knows whether it was a fish, a serpent, or something entirely different. But on that day, a quiet Canadian lake became the focus of a mystery that remains unresolved. Could this be evidence of Ogopogo, the legendary lake creature spoken of in local lore for generations? This is the reason people tremble when they imagine the deep ocean. On June 7, 2018, a group of researchers lowered a camera into the Java Trench more than 800 feet beneath the surface, far beyond the reach of sunlight. At first, there was only darkness and drifting particles. Then two dim lights appeared, eyes belonging to something massive. As the camera refocused, its outline became visible. A long, serpentine head with a silhouette resembling a dragon, slowly gliding past the lens. It didn't charge, and it didn't retreat. It simply stared into the camera for a moment before slipping back into the void. Since then, no one has attempted to dive in that area again. And people can't help wondering if that creature was real. Was it alone? How many more like it could still be lurking in the unexplored deep? Deep in the darkness, more than 3,000 feet beneath the Antarctic ice, the team's camera recorded something almost unreal. A pale pink form drifted in open water shaped like a massive blossom, but each petal began to move. Not 8, not 10, but 20 long, flexible limbs waving on their own as if each one had independent control. This organism is called the strawberry feather star. In slow motion, fine hair-like structures can be seen along every arm, designed to catch microscopic particles drifting through the water, an adaptation so advanced it resembles a biological machine. It moves with smooth rotation through the blackness, reacting to the faint glow of the camera as though it were watching the human's back. No one understands how such a delicate creature survives where normal cells would burst instantly from the extreme cold. And for that reason, the strawberry feather star is often described as the most alien-looking organism ever discovered on Earth. Next, a strange radar reading emerged in the Atlantic Ocean, showing a massive form moving slowly but consistently along the sea floor. At first, specialists believed it was simply an oversized shark, until a dorsal fin rose above the surface, standing tall, like a sail. As the research vessel neared, the gigantic creature didn't retreat. It glided silently by, almost as if aware it was being observed. No one can say with certainty whether it was a surviving megalodon or an unknown species, but one thing remains clear: something is still traveling in the deep below. And if you believe the story stops there, just wait until you hear about the next clip. Robert Harris, a hobbyist kayaker from Louisiana, unintentionally filmed something he claimed looked unlike any known creature on the planet. In the footage, a huge pale form lies completely still just beneath the smooth surface of the water. Instead of eyes, it has swollen folds of skin, and the most unsettling detail is that it doesn't respond even as his kayak drifts closer. Robert posted the recording to YouTube, but only hours later the entire upload vanished without explanation. Even so, it continued circulating online, with many convinced he had captured evidence of the Ningen, a half-human, half-aquatic figure from Antarctic tales. Some argued it was a classified organism monitored by the military, while others insisted it was a result of a rapidly changing ocean. But if it were merely a misunderstanding, why was the video taken down so quickly? While examining the strawberry feather star, researchers found a related species with a startling trait: it could move. These organisms, part of Promochocrinus kerguelensis, suddenly curl their long root-like arms when exposed to light and push off the seafloor, gliding away with coordinated limb movements. The finding shocked researchers, since starfish relatives are normally immobile. Yet here, in Antarctica's extreme environment, they've evolved the ability to move like higher animals. It raises an unsettling question. Are these creatures changing, breaking from their fixed form, and becoming a new kind of life beneath the ice? At nearly 1,000 meters below the surface, under crushing pressure and near freezing water, a slow purple creature drifted in front of the camera. Its body was smooth, lacking spines, an ink sac, or any recognizable defense. This was Bathypelagica profunda, an octopus often described as an unfinished stage of evolution. It doesn't release ink, doesn't camouflage, and doesn't attack. It simply floats in silence, its heartbeat barely noticeable. Even when exposed to light, it doesn't retreat, instead turning gently as if examining the viewer. Researchers believe it may descend from an ancient lineage of now extinct octopuses. What astonishes them is that in an environment with pressure hundreds of times stronger than at the surface, it survives with almost no defense at all, a creature living solely through adaptation. A reminder that sometimes, quiet endurance is the ultimate form of survival. You're viewing footage that left audiences completely bewildered. The creature shown in the clip seemed like some kind of alien organism breathing on its own. A man was recorded prodding a quivering jelly-like mass resting on the rocky shore. It twitched glossy and damp, reacting faintly to his touch. But the truth quickly surfaced. It wasn't a monster at all. It was bull kelp from New Zealand, scientifically named Durvallia, Antarctica. This enormous seaweed can form massive clusters and endure even the most powerful waves. Thanks to its honeycomb structure, the man in the clip was Maori, a native of the area whose people have relied on this kelp for generations to wrap food and create tools. A disturbing sight, yet the perfect reminder that not everything that appears monstrous truly is one in the natural world around us today. Things took a darker turn when a viral clip claimed that the megalodon, the ocean's most terrifying predator, had truly returned. In the recording, a gigantic creature slams into a pier, biting down with such force that it sends ripples shaking across the entire surface of the water. Enormous fins rise and twist through the waves, leaving viewers stunned. According to the uploader, that region had never reported a shark encounter before, making the footage even more alarming. He believed it was the legendary megalodon, the apex predator that ruled the deep millions of years in the past. But the longer people watched, the more strange details appeared. The water looked far too shallow, barely reaching the filmer's knees, and the exact location was never confirmed. Could this be real evidence of a prehistoric giant's return, or simply an elaborate hoax that fooled the entire world? On December 2, 2024, in western Antarctica, the Polar Scan expedition recorded a moment that sent chills around the world. At more than 138 feet beneath the ice, a camera placed inside a frozen cavity captured a massive creature slowly crawling out of the icy wall. At first, it looked like a block of limestone, until 8 pale legs began to move, cracking the ice with sharp echoes. Its body measured nearly 6.5 feet long, with legs stretching more than 15 feet. A thick shell shimmered with a faint blue tint, and its deep black eyes reflected the camera's light like glass. It resembled an Antarctic sea spider, but nearly 10 times the size. Some researchers believe it may be the evolutionary descendant of an ancient arthropod that lived millions of years ago, back when Antarctica was a warm rainforest. But what truly terrified the team was that the creature wasn't frozen. It was alive, crawling out of its icy chamber. Do you think the beings beneath the ice might actually be waking up? The deep ocean never stops leaving us in awe. On April 25, 2012, an offshore oil platform captured unbelievable footage, a huge silk-like membrane drifting through the darkness lined with pale veins inside. At first, everyone assumed it was a massive plastic sheet until the entire structure began to move. After analysis, specialists confirmed it was Deepstaria enigmatica, one of the largest and rarest invertebrates on Earth. It resembled a ghostly veil slowly pulsing in the shadows thousands of feet below. Thanks to modern deep-sea cameras, this species was finally documented clearly, a chilling reminder that even in our advanced era, the ocean remains the last true frontier of mystery. And this is one of the most terrifying creatures ever documented by divers. A Mexican diver who specialized in deep-sea filming encountered something he initially assumed was a sea snake until he saw its mouth. It had hundreds of needle-sharp teeth arranged in several inward curving rows like a biological trap. It was actually a frilled shark, a living fossil that has existed for more than 80 million years. Its body was long, dark, and eel-like, moving with smooth, snake-like motions, causing many to mistake it for some kind of hybrid species. Seeing it up close, people quickly realized that the things we call nightmares are sometimes simply real animals, still surviving quietly in the depths, where humans rarely dare to venture. But if you believe prehistoric creatures don't appear only in remote locations, take a look at this from a helicopter scanning the shoreline of San Francisco. A cameraman accidentally filmed a huge figure moving under the water. At first they assumed it was an alligator, but once they zoomed in, everyone was shocked. The creature showed a long torso, 4 flippers, and an arched neck resembling a plesiosaur. If that's accurate, What would it mean for modern biology could a species thought to have vanished 65 million years ago still be surviving quietly beneath the ocean right beside California's coast today? No one expected a calm river in Malaysia to become the center of one of the most startling videos of 2021. While rowing along the Pahang River, a group of fishermen spotted unusual ripples ahead, assuming it was simply a large fish. But as they moved closer, what rose to the surface left them stunned. A long, streamlined creature shot forward so fast the camera struggled to follow it. It wasn't a fish and it wasn't a snake. One man noted in fear. In the chaos, the boat operator dropped his phone into the river, nearly losing the recording forever. And then as the probe continued its descent nearly 9,000 feet below the surface, the camera recorded something no one expected. On the cold, dark ocean floor, dozens of pale pink creatures were crawling slowly, almost as if they were walking on the moon. They had soft, jelly-like bodies, many limbs, and at times ballooned upward like drifting air sacs. These were sea pigs, unusual deep-sea cucumbers found only in polar waters. What surprised scientists wasn't their appearance, but their survival. Sea pigs feed on decaying material buried in the freezing mud. Areas where almost no oxygen remains, they draw seawater through their skin to extract what little oxygen exists and can endure pressures more than 300 times higher than at the surface beneath the silent Antarctic ice. These pigs of the sea live as the ocean's quiet scavengers, a vivid reminder that life still persists. In the place humanity considers the end of the world, now brace yourself for a nightmare. Now let's shift to something entirely outside what science can explain. On July 21, 2015, photographer Thomas Brown recorded footage that many believe depicts a creature from another age. While filming near the Roseville Bridge in Sydney, he saw the water suddenly start to churn. A huge, distorted head rose from the surface. It wasn't a whale and it wasn't a shark. The form resembled a sea serpent, but far larger than anything recognized at first. Thomas assumed it was only a decaying fish until it shifted in a flash. The creature slipped back into the depths, leaving behind swirling waves several feet wide. Many believe it was evidence of a species never before documented beneath Australian waters, but the real question remains: if it truly exists, how many more could be waiting out there? Imagine being alone on the ocean at night with nothing but a flashlight and the sound of waves when something suddenly shows itself in the village of Larantuka, Indonesia. Fisherman Rudy Santara went out hoping to catch what locals described as a giant shark, but instead he came across something that chilled him. A smooth black shape moved beneath the water, and then a radiant head surfaced with red eyes and a mouth glowing orange like burning coals shaken. Rudy captured only a few seconds of video before escaping. Some scientists argued it might be a deep-sea bioluminescent animal, but locals insist otherwise. They claim Rudy encountered the Larantuka sea demon, a being said to appear only when the ocean is on the verge of unleashing its fury. In December 2013, the Andril project drilled through nearly 980 feet of ice in the Ross Sea, Antarctica. When their camera was lowered, the team expected to find nothing but frozen sediment. Instead, they saw hundreds of milky white organisms hanging upside down, attached to the underside of the ice, forming what looked like a floating forest of living bodies. The species was identified as Edwardsiella undrilla, the Antarctic sea anemone. What shocked researchers was how its entire biology defied known rules. It receives no sunlight, has no symbiotic algae, and shows no obvious food source. Yet in -2 degrees Celsius, seawater where salt water is nearly solid, they still moved, stretched and reproduced. Scientists cannot explain how they obtain energy. One theory suggests they absorb nutrients, drifting through microbial streams, but no study has confirmed it. Their existence raises a chilling question: does life actually require warmth and light to begin at all? You may think the world's largest shark is the great white, but you might want to reconsider at a depth of 1,132 feet beneath the waters of the Bahamas. Two researchers were filming when a massive silhouette drifted past their submersible. At first they assumed it was a 6-gill shark feeding on a carcass, until the creature turned. This time, it faced them head-on. Its head was wide and heavy, its eyes dark and empty, and its teeth were the size of a grown man's fist, all glowing under the faint lights of the sub. "It's longer than the submarine," one of them exclaimed. The cabin fell silent as everyone realized they were looking at an ancient predator thought to have disappeared millions of years ago. They hoped to attach a tracking device, but how could they when the animal in front of them was large enough to swallow the entire vessel in a single bite? No one on the expedition expected to witness anything like this. Nearly 1,000 meters beneath the Antarctic ice, where sunlight never reaches, the submersible's camera recorded a translucent shape drifting in the darkness. At first, the team assumed it was a large plastic sheet caught in the currents, but then the film revealed the form slowly pulsing, expanding and shrinking as though it were breathing. This was Deepstaria enigmatica, a massive deep-sea jellyfish. so uncommon that only a handful of experts have ever observed one alive. It has no tentacles, no skeleton, no eyes, and no solid structure, only a thin, transparent membrane, delicate enough for light to shine through, yet strong enough to survive the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. What astonished the researchers most was its method of hunting, rather than attacking deep starry weights. When a small fish or crustacean drifts close, it opens its entire body like a giant pouch, engulfs the prey, and closes gradually. The whole event unfolds in absolute silence. The only proof of movement is the camera's light revealing red vein-like patterns inside, beating like the pulse of something otherworldly. In one starfish collected near the Ross Sea, Chilean researchers uncovered something deeply unsettling inside its organs were tiny moving filaments, and under the microscope they revealed themselves as complete organisms with their own hearts, vessels, and reproductive structures. The parasite known as Dendrogaster antarctica invades a starfish, burrows into its organs, and grows its full body within the host. When the starfish feeds, the parasite absorbs every nutrient, slowly weakening it without killing it. Because the host must stay alive long enough for the parasite to release its eggs, marine biologists consider this one of the most efficient parasitic systems on Earth, a creature so small yet capable of manipulating its host's biological rhythm. In the polar world, where survival is delicate, even cruelty becomes a tool for life to endure. This may be the most unbelievable moment in the entire video. In July 2024, off the coast of the Coral Sea, marine specialists were called to inspect a damaged pier. Part of the structure looked as if something enormous had bitten straight through it. Thick wooden beams were crushed, as though massive jaws had clamped down when divers went beneath the surface. What they saw stunned them. A shattered plank was slowly being pushed upward from below. They immediately called for backup and continued farther down. Then they saw it, a gigantic dorsal fin rising from the deep, as tall as a ship's mast. The creature had to be nearly 70 feet long, far too large to match any known shark. One researcher whispered that if it was a megalodon, it had never gone extinct. Realizing the danger, they attempted to retreat. But before they could move, the surface of the water suddenly began to churn violently. Soon after, another video appeared from Florida, reigniting fears of strange creatures hiding beneath the water. Fisherman Raymond Cole was out on the CM River when he noticed a massive dark shape moving below the surface. He pulled out his phone to record, and at that moment the creature's tail rose into view. What shocked him was that it wasn't a normal tail. The end split into 3 pointed tips, twisting smoothly through the current. Raymond believed he had captured proof of the legendary trident tail monster. But when he showed the clip to other fishermen, they argued it was only a large fish whose tail had been damaged by a propeller. Yet could an injury create something that perfect? The question spread quickly online, leaving people divided. Was this an unknown creature or simply an illusion beneath the waves? Now let's head to the Barents Sea, where endless gray waves rise and fall, and a crew of Norwegian fishermen hauled up something that made their blood run cold from the steel net. A massive creature nearly 33 feet long began to surface, its black skin gleaming like spilled oil, its smooth body coiled tightly, as if made of living metal. The head was broad and heavy, the eyes dark and empty, and when its jaws opened, rows of sharp white teeth shimmered faintly through the fog. No one dared move. One of the men muttered, "It's still alive." And in that instant, they all realized they were staring at something that didn't seem to belong on this earth. Local fishermen believed it was a descendant of Leviathan, the sea beast described in scripture as the devourer of the depths. But the most unsettling part came afterward. Only hours after the footage spread online, the creature disappeared without a trace, as if the sea itself had reclaimed it. A family was out ice fishing on a lake when they spotted a helpless dog trapped in an icy pool struggling to climb out.
Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. Come on, Snowball. Is someone calling the owners? Is somebody calling the owners?
Te vas a caer.
Xiomara, you're gonna fall down. You're gonna fall down. Come on. I knew this would happen. Come on. Yes! We did it!
The freezing water threatened its survival as it fought to stay afloat. Acting quickly, the family rushed to help, cutting through the ice to pull the dog to safety. Every second mattered, with hypothermia and frostbite setting in fast. Once out of the water, they likely wrapped the dog in warm blankets and cared for it, ensuring its recovery. Thanks to their quick action, the dog's life was saved. Sometimes fishermen stumble upon something so bizarre and alien that it surprises everyone, and that's exactly what happened to this guy in 2023. It may look like a Lovecraftian horror that shouldn't exist on this planet, but it's as real as it gets. This is the basket star. And not only can it move every individual limb, but it's also faster than its other starfish siblings, like other weird sea creatures. The basket star prefers deeper waters and can be found thousands of feet deep. Moreover, it unfurls its arms, each lined with hooks to catch food, and can live up to 35 years. A group of friends on a late-night fishing trip stumbled upon something unexpected on the beach.
Tell me what the fuck this is.
So you think it's like a giant motherfucking fish?
No.
It definitely is. Bro, it's something. This is a tail.
It's like perfectly. The strange find resembled a mermaid's tail, sparking curiosity and debate online. Some suggested it was just a piece of fabric or carpet, while others believed it could be the remains of a decomposed fish part, or part of a sea creature like a whale. Yet no one could say for sure what it really was. In 2023, a group of anglers was kayak fishing in Saugus, Massachusetts, when they stumbled upon one of the biggest catches of their lives. Because they hadn't just caught a fish, they'd caught a massive snapping turtle.
Bro, how do I can grab him by the tail if I can get there. Oh, it's a good one. Dude, he's fucking huge. What do I...
Snapping turtles already look like dinosaurs with their pointed scales. But what made this particular turtle special was its size, as it had probably been living in the area for dozens of years.
He's a big fucking boy. He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Dude, he's huge.
That didn't mean they could simply toy around with the turtle, as a single bite was enough to tear through their kayaks. But of course they weren't there to catch turtles. They were angling fish, so they did the right thing and set it free.
I don't want to get too close like that.
You will rip your hand off, but...
You will? How the fuck are you supposed to get out of there, dude?
While enjoying a peaceful day at the lake, a fisherman encountered something truly disturbing. He saw a plecofish swimming without its head. The injury to the fish's snout could have been caused by a snapping turtle, a predatory fish, or even a motorboat thinking he had stumbled upon a zombie fish. He grabbed his camera to record, but soon realized the fish was probably still alive because its brain and gills appeared undamaged. However, these were its final moments. The loss of its mouth meant it would struggle to feed and would likely succumb to its injury soon. In 2021, a group of fishermen were returning from their journey when birds hounded them. So being the good folks they were, they decided to share some of their haul and let the birds feast. What they didn't realize, though, was that birds weren't the only creatures trying to score some fish, and something else was lurking right underneath their boat, waiting for the perfect chance to pounce. It was a sea lion. Which, if you didn't know, is very different from a seal. Sea lions can be extremely dangerous, so these folks needed to be careful and not get too friendly with the beast. A dock builder in New York discovered a mysterious wooden statue floating in the Hudson River. The statue, weathered and broken, immediately sparked speculation. Some thought it resembled Pazuzu, the Mesopotamian demon famously depicted in The Exorcist. Others warned that it might be haunted and had likely been thrown into the river for a reason, suggesting it should be put back before anything strange happens. Could the statue carry something sinister? Unfortunately, there are no further updates on what the man decided to do with it. In 2022, a woman kayaking and fishing through a river caught something she wouldn't have anticipated in her wildest dreams. Her catch was so big that for a second it felt like she'd caught a dinosaur.
What you got? Like a 100-pound turtle. You need my net?
It wasn't a dinosaur though, it was 100-pound turtle. And not just any turtle. It was an alligator. Snapping turtle.
God, what a turtle. Let me get over there.
The largest freshwater turtle species. But that's not what makes these big guys special. Let me get over there. The woman had no idea what she was dealing with. There's a reason why these creatures are called alligator snapping turtles, because with a bite force of 1,000 pounds, their powerful jaws can snap through bone.
Have to cut it.
While enjoying a night of fishing off the coast, something truly unexpected occurred. A bright blue light suddenly shot down from the sky. The strange phenomenon sparked immediate speculation. Some believe it was space debris burning up in the atmosphere, while others think it could have been an advanced military aircraft or weapons test. UFO enthusiasts, however, are convinced it was something beyond human technology, pointing out how the light descended in a smooth, controlled manner. One thing is for sure, it didn't resemble any normal lightning. Speaking of massive turtles, here's yet another instance of a 120-pound alligator snapping turtle found in the wild, except that this time the person knew what he was doing, because he was there to rescue it.
Okay, watch your feet. You just bringing him straight to shore?
The turtle was in dire condition, living amongst a sea of mud, so it had to be rescued, but of course that didn't make the danger of handling it any less significant.
That's a giant. Let's check him out. Yeah. Let me get out of the boat.
It's worth noting that while these massive snapping turtles have incredible bite force, they don't tend to attack humans. So as long as you're careful, which these folks certainly were, you're good. In 2015, a 14-year-old girl named Isabel took a photo of her two friends Nova and EBA swimming in the water. She planned to post it on Instagram, but when reviewing the picture, she noticed something unusual. There was an odd figure in the water near her friends. Terrified, she showed the photo to her friends, who reacted the same way. Reactions from others who saw the photo were also mixed with various guesses, including an alien, a foot, an otter, a fish, a stone, or even a Labrador. Despite many theories, the true nature of the mysterious figure remains a mystery. In 2021, a fisherman traveled to a South American lagoon to catch exotic fish, and as the hours went by, he thought he was going to leave empty-handed until he angled something he'd never seen before.
Whoa! Dude! That is the strangest fish!
It was a sucker-mouth catfish, which isn't even that rare. However, the surprising thing about this particular catch was that it looked different from most other fish species. So much so that the fisherman couldn't even identify it for a while.
That is the nastiest creature!
Is that? I mean, that thing looks like it's from outer space.
Unlike most other fish, the sucker-mouth catfish can breathe air frequently, surfacing to inhale oxygen through its gills, if there isn't enough in the water. So in a way, these folks weren't entirely wrong to think they just caught an alien.
That thing is wild.
That is one gnarly fish.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
A group of fishermen stumbled upon something they probably wish they had never touched. A disturbing-looking doll dressed in a dirty, stained white dress. Its face was covered in dirt and algae, giving it a decayed appearance. Its lifeless eyes stared blankly, adding to the eerie atmosphere. What made it even more unsettling was its size. It eerily resembled a real child. The history of this doll and whether it might be haunted remains a mystery. I can only hope they left it behind. While fishing strange creatures out of the ocean is exciting, there's something even more satisfying when you catch something you know is extremely rare and valuable, which is exactly what happened to these folks on their fishing trip. There's no movie magic here. These guys caught a real blue lobster. What made this catch even more special was that if you catch 2 million lobsters,
these blue lobsters, but there's no way. They have got to be way more rare. This is the same general area where I got the blue lobster last year. My father just...
Of course, blue lobsters themselves aren't rare as they're bred in aquariums as showpieces. However, finding one naturally occurring in an ocean is like finding a needle in a haystack. These are truly real-life shiny Pokemon.
That is a very, very pretty blue. It's a female with a big V-notch in her tail, so that means it's got to be released.
While walking near a river, this group of friends witnessed something chilling. A mysterious figure rose from the water at Flat Bridge, Jamaica, only to vanish moments later. Its human-like shape and eerie movements sparked wild speculation. Was it a mermaid? Jamaica is rich with legends of water spirits, especially the river Mama said to guard hidden treasures. Could this sighting be linked to these ancient myths? Some believe it was an animal, floating debris, or even a hoax. But the footage remains unclear. What do you think? Could this be real? Or is it just another trick of the camera? We've seen people fishing some amazing creatures out of the ocean. But what if someone told you that animals are perhaps even more efficient at that job? Because this right here is the perfect example of nature at its finest. It may look like a bird, fishing for some food. But there's more to it than meets the eye. Because just under the water, 2 seals are working overtime to feed themselves and bring fish for the bird. It shows that even when animals cannot communicate, they can still somehow find a way to work together toward a common goal and maintain balance. It's the circle of life. Jason Nelson and his friend were ice fishing in Utah when they discovered a strange sight on a patch of frozen ice.
What is it?
So foggy.
Alright, don't touch it.
Okay, touch it.
Oh, did you see it?
Slimy?
Yeah!
Need a stick or something.
So, what the fuck is it? Touch it.
Gross. Gross.
Oh, weird.
What if it's like a disease?
Hundreds of egg-like objects were embedded in the ice, arranged in eerie, symmetrical rows. It seemed soft and unreactive to touch, leading the pair to wonder if they were frozen or laying dormant, ready to hatch. Some believe they could be a rare species or larvae, while others see this as a mysterious natural phenomenon with no identification in the comments. This discovery leaves viewers wondering if the creatures are part of a hidden ecosystem or something not from this world. Seals are often dubbed as dogs of the ocean because not only are they friendly, but they're also very social. And this is the perfect example of that, because never in a million years did these folks think a hungry seal would invade their boat.
Get in the boat, look at him. Oh my God! Wow! Is he supposed to do that?
The seal didn't care if it was invited. It knew these folks had some fish in their boat. So it had to appear, and luckily it hit the jackpot, as these people were delighted to see their guest.
Oh my God, did I forget you? I'm gonna get in the tank myself. Oh my Lord. Oh, yay!
Reddit user P_Ruthless shared a story about their father who used to enjoy watching the sunset from a levee off the Mississippi River in Louisiana. It was directly across the street from an old plantation one evening. While sitting there, he thought he saw something down near the plantation and took this photo. He thought it might have been a person, but when he checked again, he saw nothing. Something about that moment, that feeling of being watched, kept him from returning. Sometimes fishermen encounter creatures so rare that they can hardly believe their luck. Take this group, for example. They thought they had hooked a typical green mahi-mahi, but the moment they hauled it from the water, everything changed.
There we go. What's up, dude?
Mija.
Look at that.
Don't let him fall off.
Mahi-mahi are known for their ability to shift colors depending on their environment. Under normal stress, they appear bright green or yellow as they're pulled from the sea. Yet, in exceptional cases, when the fish doesn't feel threatened, its body can remain a shimmering shade of blue even after capture.
We go this way, over here?
Yep,
That's pretty. Wow.
Watch out.
Yes.
While fishing in Gulf Shores, Alabama, a man noticed something strange beneath the water, a red light glowing steadily below the surface.
I'm out here in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and we're sitting on the dock, and there's something glowing in the water.
A red light glowing beneath the surface of the water.
It remained visible for quite some time, illuminating the dark water around the dock. The unusual sight sparked widespread speculation online. Some believed it could be a mermaid or some kind of unknown aquatic creature, while others suggested a more practical explanation, possibly the taillights of a submerged vehicle. Whatever the truth may be, seeing a bright red light glowing underwater is both rare and unsettling. Many agreed that the man probably should have contacted local authorities to uncover what was really lurking beneath the surface. In 2023, a group of fishermen managed to reel in one of the most dangerous and aggressive fish in the ocean.
And it is an absolute giant. If you've seen him before in my videos, they can bite like crazy. That thing's huge. You're kind of scared to grab a hold of it.
I'm scared.
The wolffish. But this wasn't just any catch. It was the largest specimen they had ever seen, a true giant. Catching a wolffish is no easy task. Known for their razor-sharp teeth and incredibly strong jaws, these predators can easily crush hard-shelled marine creatures. Some can even grow up to 6 feet long, making encounters like this both rare and intimidating. Curious to see just how powerful its bite really was, the group decided to test it by offering a soda can. With a single snap, the can exploded instantly, leaving the fishermen in awe. It was a vivid demonstration of just how fierce and formidable the wolffish can be. On October 7, 2022, a man was fishing alone on a calm, expansive lake when he encountered something deeply unsettling. Out of nowhere, a strange voice echoed across the water, faint, yet unnervingly clear.
There we go. Oh shit. I don't know what the hell that was, but there we go. Oh shit. I don't know what the hell that was,
It didn't sound like any animal, nor did it resemble anything natural. The noise carried an unnatural tone that immediately disturbed him. The mysterious sound has since sparked countless discussions online, with many debating its true origin. Could it have been something paranormal, a rare natural occurrence, or perhaps an unseen presence hidden somewhere near the lake? Deep in the jungles of Papua New Guinea, near a sacred waterfall, a fisherman experienced something truly extraordinary.
I'm currently sat here with the spirit birds of the Witawai tribe in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. These guys sit here by the waterfall, the sacred waterfall, and protect it from outsiders, from bad deeds, and they are pretty scary. You will not harm me. No? Hopefully not. But yeah, the highlands of Papua New Guinea is a fascinating place. I love it here.
While exploring the remote highlands, he encountered members of the Witawai tribe, guardians of the sacred falls said to protect the area from outsiders and bad spirits. They wore long-nosed masks and brown cloaks, their presence both mesmerizing and unsettling. Unsure of their intentions, he hesitated to get closer. But as he approached, he realized they weren't hostile, only watchful. The tribesmen stood silently, observing him with calm curiosity rather than aggression. Though he couldn't understand their language or customs, he sensed a deep spiritual respect surrounding the place. After a quiet moment of acknowledgement, he chose to leave peacefully, honoring their traditions and the sacred land they protected. A man went night fishing near Day Lake when something eerie broke the silence, a blood-curdling scream echoing from deep within the forest. For a moment he froze, unsure whether to stay or flee. Then curiosity got the better of him. He grabbed his flashlight and followed the sound into the trees, but after searching for several minutes, he found no footprints, no movement, and no source. The woods fell silent again, as if nothing had happened at all. To this day, he still wonders what made that scream. Was it a wild animal or something far more sinister hiding in the darkness? In the small town of San Antonio La Esperanza, Mexico, a group of fishermen discovered a human-sized bag floating in the Rio Grande River. Believing it might contain a body, they carefully opened it, only to find something equally disturbing inside. A life-size ventriloquist doll with sharp claws and a menacing expression. Unnerved, they shared the discovery online and attempted to burn the doll, but to their horror, it wouldn't catch fire. Locals quickly began to speculate that it was cursed. However, journalist Cesar Buenrostro later explained that the figure was made of epoxy resin, a material that doesn't ignite easily. Although he clarified that detail, the mystery remains unsolved. No one knows who made the doll, why it was sealed in a bag, or why it was dumped into the river. To this day, it's remembered as one of Mexico's creepiest river discoveries. This CCTV footage taken near a secluded lake surrounded by dense woods captured something completely unexpected. In the recording, a ghostly figure appears, walking slowly along the water's edge before sitting down and then vanishing into thin air. No clear background information has ever surfaced about where or when the footage was filmed, leaving the mystery wide open. Some viewers insist it's a genuine paranormal sighting, while others believe it could simply be a cleverly edited hoax. With no way to verify its origin, the chilling clip remains one of those haunting moments that make you wonder, what exactly did the camera capture that night? Brazilian YouTuber Anderson Guedes was kayaking with friends when he believed he'd hooked a massive fish. Excited, he began reeling it in, shouting in disbelief at what he thought was a huge catch. But moments later, his line became tangled deep underwater. Refusing to let it go, Anderson pulled with all his strength.
Vem cá, garoto. Vem cá. Quem que é? Quem que é? Rapaz, olha que lindo, cara. Olha só, faz tempo que eu não pego desse, cara. Olha que bonito, cara. Que a cara...
Until his fishing rod snapped in half. Determined, he grabbed the line with his hands and kept tugging, convinced it was something enormous. That's when he made a shocking discovery.
Caramba, cara, que é isso? Caramba, cara, Cara, olha isso aqui. Tô falando, é grande demais, cara. Olha isso aqui, gurizada.
He hadn't hooked a fish at all, but a large crocodile. Realizing the danger, he quickly cut the line and ended his fishing session immediately, shaken but unharmed after the terrifying encounter. A group of friends were camping at Patoka Lake Modern Campground, one of southern Indiana's most haunted locations, when they snapped an eerie photo that would soon spark debate online. Taken at Site 333, the image shows Christopher Bergbauer and two friends sitting beside a camper, but in the background, a transparent figure with long dark hair and a gray, long-sleeved shirt appears to be emerging from the camper's doorway. What makes this so disturbing is that the shape doesn't resemble a motion blur or lens flare. It looks distinctly human. Later that night, Christopher admitted he felt uneasy and couldn't sleep. Could this have been just a trick of the camera? Or did they capture something truly supernatural? A group of friends were fishing far out in the open ocean when their relaxing trip suddenly turned into a terrifying encounter. Without warning, a shark appeared beside their kayak and began ramming it repeatedly.
Do you see that?
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out. Oh my gosh.
Trying to flip it over. Panic set in as the group fought to stay balanced and keep the small vessel from capsizing. The water churned violently around them as they shouted warnings to each other, unsure what the predator might do next. The footage ends abruptly before showing how the situation resolved, leaving viewers holding their breath and wondering whether they managed to escape the shark's relentless attack. A group of friends were camping at Pyramid Lake when they captured an unsettling photo that quickly gained attention online. Shared by Reddit user SoFarJ, the image appears to show the faint figure of a little girl standing on the left side of the frame. Some viewers believe it was simply a real child who happened to be caught in the shot, while others argue it could be an example of pareidolia, the mind perceiving familiar shapes where none exist. Still, a number of people insist the figure looks too defined to be a trick of light, suggesting it might be something far more sinister. The mystery remains unsolved, leaving everyone who's seen the image with an uneasy feeling. In 2021, a man fishing near the Florida Keys felt a powerful pull on his line, and instantly knew he'd hooked something extraordinary.
Got a big parrotfish. I mean, a monster.
Don't let him find you.
No, set him in the bottom of the boat.
When he finally brought it up, he was stunned to see a massive parrotfish, shimmering in brilliant shades of blue that rivaled the color of the sea itself.
There you go. Look at that mouth.
But its beauty wasn't the only remarkable thing about it. Parrotfish are known for their fused front teeth, which form a beak-like jaw, and a second set of teeth in their throat, used to crush rock and coral while feeding. These incredible creatures can spend up to 80% of their lives grazing on reefs and can grow up to 2.5 feet long. After admiring the stunning catch, the fisherman did the right thing.
Parrotfish are biting today. Okay, he's going back. See you later.
He released the parrotfish back into the water, letting it continue its life beneath the waves. While magnet fishing, a Reddit user made one of the most shocking discoveries imaginable. They pulled up a live artillery shell from the river. At first, they thought it was just a large piece of scrap metal, but as soon as they got a closer look, it became clear. This was unexploded ordnance, likely dating back decades.
Is that a big round? Is that really?
Let this one bomb.
No. Holy crap, dude. Wow. That's a big round. That's artillery. That's artillery.
Holy cow.
Dude, that's the biggest round. You got one.
Yeah, and this thing's live too.
Leave it there. Don't let anyone go on the bridge.
Holy crap.
Anything interesting?
Yeah, we got a bomb.
The shell was far too heavy to safely return to the water, forcing them to carefully pull it up to the bridge. Realizing the danger, they immediately contacted local authorities.
Alright guys, so right now we are getting ready to call bomb squad. It's basically an anti-material artillery round. So the cops have just arrived. So we got bomb squad right there.
Alright, the bomb squad's backing up right now.
There they are with their x-ray machine.
Alright, you guys have a curfew from magnet fishing from 2 p.m. No, just kidding. You guys get the x-ray needed after 5? Well, it's different densities in the metals is what we're trying to get through, so...
They're taking off with it right now. It's inside their 8-ball.
Authorities quickly arrived.
Within minutes, police and a bomb squad arrived, securing the area and using X-ray equipment to inspect the round. After confirming it was indeed live, the team safely transported it for controlled disposal. What started as a casual day of magnet fishing quickly turned into a life-threatening situation, and a powerful reminder of what can still lie hidden beneath the surface. Two friends were out fishing when a man suddenly began shouting at them from the shore. Before they could react, the situation escalated dramatically.
Gary, it's me! Stop! Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Gary!
Crap, what in the world?
Dude!
The man fired a shot in their direction. Panicked, one of the fishermen yelled for him to stop, only for the man to realize he actually knew one of them. The shooter claimed he thought they were trespassers, explaining that items had recently gone missing in the area, and he was only trying to scare people away.
Hey Ron, I didn't know it was you. We've been having some problems out here with people coming out here. We're not here to hurt nobody. We're just trying to scare people off. We've had stuff missing around here.
I totally understand that. I'm more mad at Ron because Ron said he had permission.
I do have permission.
Yeah.
Did you not know I was in town? Or
I didn't know. You usually call me before you come.
All right, cool, man. What's your name?
Gary.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Gary, listen, I've owned land, I've owned property. I understand. I completely understand. But I'm like a little freaked out right now.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, Ron's got permission all the time.
Despite the tense confrontation, no one was injured. Still, the incident quickly went viral, with viewers outraged that the man had resorted to violence without proof of any wrongdoing, a chilling reminder of how quickly fear and misunderstanding can turn dangerous. While fishing at a quiet, secluded lake, a fisherman experienced an encounter he would never forget. Expecting to reel in a catfish, he suddenly felt his line tighten.
Oh, putain. No.
And then the water erupted. A massive catfish burst from the surface, its size unlike anything he'd ever seen. For a moment, he stood frozen in disbelief, realizing it was far too big for him to handle. Within seconds, the giant fish slipped free and vanished back into the depths, leaving the fisherman staring at the rippling water. Kim Davison and her family were swimming at Murphy's Hole in the Yaqui River, southeast Queensland, Australia, when they took what seemed like an innocent family photo. The image showed 2 adults and 3 children. But when Kim later reviewed it, she noticed something impossible: a 4th child standing just behind them. A later investigation uncovered a chilling detail. In 1915, a 13-year-old girl named Dory O'Sullivan had drowned at that very spot. The coincidence, paired with the mysterious extra figure, sent shivers down many spines. Adding to the unease, Kim recalled that strange things had happened that day. Her daughter claimed something grabbed her leg underwater, twice. Paranormal investigators later analyzed the photograph in depth and concluded that the spectral figure captured in the image could very well be the ghost of the drowned girl, still lingering more than a century later. A Reddit user once shared a haunting photograph taken at Lake Travis in 2007. Captured at night near the shoreline, the image appears to show a humanoid figure emerging from the darkness, seemingly moving toward a man standing by the water. Its distorted shape and unnatural posture made many believe it wasn't human at all. With no further details or follow-up ever released, the photo remains an unsettling mystery, leaving viewers to wonder who or what that figure truly was. On January 28, 2024, a family enjoying a quiet day of fishing by a riverside suddenly sensed something unsettling nearby. At first, they dismissed the feeling as simple paranoia, until they saw it. Between the trees, a shadow darker than the forest itself moved swiftly among the branches. For a brief moment, it seemed to take on a human-like form before vanishing without a trace. The family managed to capture the moment on camera, eerie proof that they might not have been as alone in the woods as they thought. While diving in Lake Natoma, California, a fisherman known online as Merman Mike spotted something deeply unsettling resting on the lakebed, what appeared to be the body of a child. His heart raced as he swam closer, fearing the worst. But upon inspection, the figure turned out to be a rescue training dummy, not a real person. Even so, the discovery was chilling. Despite knowing it was harmless, the eerie image of the lifelike figure beneath the water stayed with him long after he surfaced. The Charlie Grom surf contest at Satellite Beach, Florida, turned from thrilling to chilling after a young surfer found himself at the center of a shark encounter. The tense video begins as event officials urgently call surfers out of the water following reports of a shark spotted near the competition zone. Among them, a young contestant named Tanner tries to stay composed while paddling toward shore. Moments later, the rolling waves reveal a dark shape following closely behind him. Tanner maintains remarkable composure, resisting the urge to panic as he powers through the surf with steady strokes, racing the predator to safety.
He's right there.
Fortunately, the shark eventually veers away, and rescue personnel quickly guide Tanner back to shore. Onlookers and his parents exhale in relief as he steps onto the sand, shaken but unharmed, after one of the most nerve-wracking moments ever caught on camera. A grainy security camera recorded something disturbing in a dark river. Faint human-like faces appeared to rise from the surface, drifting slowly, unnervingly still, before sinking back under the water for a moment. It seemed like multiple shapes were watching from below, their expressions frozen. The clip is brief, but haunting enough to make people replay it, each frame colder than before. Whether a camera malfunction or something unknown, one thing's certain: the river wasn't empty that night. On October 20th, 2025, off the coast of Sicily in the Mediterranean Sea, a group of fishermen lifted their nets expecting an ordinary haul. But what happened next left everyone stunned. Caught in the ropes and seaweed was an ordinary-looking fish, likely a snapper. Then, a large, feminine figure suddenly leapt from the water and seized it. The strange creature nearly hit one of the fishermen. The moment was brief, but it moved with unnatural speed. Upon closer look, it had blonde hair and a green fish-like tail, while the upper body was human-shaped with dark skin and deep eyes, suggesting a deep-sea origin. The description closely resembled that of a siren, especially the webbed hands. It vanished back beneath the waves with the fish, almost as if saving it, leaving the fishermen shocked and speechless. Along a quiet section of the Amazon River, a small group came across something deeply disturbing: a pale, human-shaped figure lying near the riverbank. Its features were oddly distorted, with limbs that didn't look entirely natural. The body appeared smooth-skinned and eerily intact, unlike any known creature from the rainforest. The short clip soon spread online, with some insisting it was evidence of an undiscovered species, while others believed it to be an elaborate hoax. Still, the haunting realism of its appearance made viewers stop and look twice. While fishing at a quiet pond near Nashville, Tennessee, a couple noticed something unusual moving in the distance. At first, they couldn't tell what it was, just a dark shape slowly twisting through the cloudy water. As they got closer, the truth became clear. It wasn't anything dangerous, just two massive snapping turtles mating.
Big to be a squirrel.
I think it's 2.
That's not a turtle, is it? Hold up.
I really think it's otters.
Why would there be an otter?
Because it's a lake.
But like, it swam all the way through that?
These creatures, especially the alligator snapping kind, are known for their size, strength, and deliberate movements, even during moments like this. Still, at first glance, the sight looked far more disturbing than it actually was. A girl went swimming with her friend near a rocky cave, laughing and splashing as photos were taken to capture the fun. Later, while her mother was scrolling through the pictures, she spotted something startling. Right beside the girl was another figure in the water. It seemed almost like a mermaid. Some brushed it off as nothing more than sunlight and water creating an illusion, but others believed it could be rare evidence, suggesting that mermaids might actually exist. Creepy forest creature. A strange, unidentified creature was caught on camera in a remote area of Vermont, near a small body of water. It appeared to crawl out from the edge just minutes after the person filming had set up their tent. Its eyes glowed in the dark, suggesting it might be an animal, and its face and mouth faintly resembled that of an alligator. However, there are no alligators in Vermont, at least not naturally. This creature also seemed to have 2 horns and a wide mouth, ruling out any known species. So what do you think it was? After reports of loud splashes and strange noises coming from Loch Murray, the Mariners Museum dispatched a helicopter to investigate. From above, they captured something extraordinary. A massive, unidentified shape moving beneath the surface of the water. Many quickly connected it to Chessie, the legendary sea creature said to inhabit Chesapeake Bay. But could this truly be evidence that the old myth is real? These are the kinds of creatures that chase you in nightmares. An unknown fisherman caught several eerie, eyeless fish, their sharp teeth strong enough to bite through bone, and no one has been able to identify them. Disturbingly, these terrifying-looking creatures were later cooked and eaten as part of a meal. They're the stuff nightmares are made of, and even more unsettling is the fact that they can grow to an even larger size. This final clip comes from Jonathan Bird's Blue World, featuring a heart-pounding encounter with massive tiger sharks. The episode begins with Jonathan and a team of expert shark handlers feeding the enormous predators in the Bahamas. The team interacts closely with the sharks, even touching their noses, coming just inches away from rows of razor-sharp teeth. Despite the sharks being nearly the same size as the divers themselves, the handlers demonstrate remarkable courage, flipping the sharks upside down in a risky show of control. Fortunately, the sharks displayed intelligence and calm behavior, staying gentle and unaggressive, clearly aware that food was on the way. A man spending his day at the beach noticed something unusual moving across the water. At first, it looked like nothing more than ordinary waves, but a closer look revealed what seemed to be a massive, worm-like creature. Its motion wasn't smooth like a sea serpent. It twisted and squirmed more like an enormous worm. Some viewers believed it might be an undiscovered sea creature, but after examining the footage more carefully, many spotted signs of digital manipulation. The way it glided through the water just didn't seem natural, leading most to conclude the video was fake. It happened along a quiet riverbank in Louisiana where a man spotted something enormous lurking near the bushes. The creature moved slowly, its dark shape blending perfectly with the muddy water. Curious, the man tried spraying near it to get a clearer view, but each time he approached, it slid deeper beneath the surface. When it finally reappeared, only a dark outline could be seen. Large, smooth, and eerily aware of his presence. Its movements didn't resemble any known swamp animal, leaving many convinced that something truly unusual might be living beneath those waters. A crab fisherman made an unusual catch one day, a wolf eel from the North Pacific. This eerie-looking species can grow over 8 feet long and typically hides inside rocky crevices, lunging out to grab crabs, shellfish, and sea urchins. But then the fisherman spotted something large lodged in the eel's mouth. It was caught mid-meal, a disturbing yet fascinating sight from the deep. It happened in Oregon's Silver Falls State Park, where a narrow river flows through a dark, cave-like tunnel beneath the trees. A group of friends spent the day tubing there, laughing and filming as they drifted downstream. Later, while reviewing the footage, one of them noticed something moving behind their tubes. The figure was large, pale, and oddly human-shaped, with what looked like long, dark hair flowing under the surface. It swam too smoothly to be a person, and was far too big to be any animal native to Oregon. The person filming hadn't noticed it at the time, but once the clip surfaced online, viewers began calling it the river ghost. In Poland, a man recorded something that immediately drew attention. Near the river, several men in dark uniforms were seen pulling a large, unusual-looking body from the water. Whatever it was, they worked quickly, lifting it with care before loading it into a covered truck. The person filming sounded confused, asking what was happening, but no one nearby seemed to know. Once the footage appeared online, theories spread fast. Some believed it was part of a secret government experiment, while others claimed it was a creature authorities didn't want the public to see. River Siren Deep in the Malaya Valley, near the hills of North Zealand, Denmark, a man reportedly filmed what he claimed to be a siren in the Malayan River. But the details quickly became strange. Just below the surface, a mythical-looking figure could be seen gliding through the water. It had a long, smooth tail that flicked like a fish and what appeared to be strands of hair drifting around its head. For several minutes, the mysterious figure stayed near the riverbank, eerily calm and unbothered by the man recording it. When the creature finally vanished, skeptics accused him of staging the entire scene. Yet the most unusual claim came from a YouTube comment, warning that showing her face online could make her a target for poachers. Monster of China in Yichang City, China, locals were stunned by what they saw. A long, snake-like creature swimming just beneath the muddy surface of the Yangtze River. The strange shape stretched nearly 10 feet, with a humped back that rippled as it moved through the water. It wasn't just a one-time sighting. Tourists visiting the Three Gorges Dam scenic area reported glimpses of the same mysterious figure at different points along the river. With the Yangtze spanning nearly 4,000 miles as one of the largest rivers in the world, this creature still managed to stand out unmistakably. So far, Yichang forestry officials have made no official statement regarding the creature's identity. Jennifer Harris, 28, went missing on May 12, 2002. Her Jeep was later discovered abandoned along a rural roadside. 6 days after she vanished, the worst fears were confirmed when a fisherman found her body in the Red River. Despite years of investigation, no one has ever been charged. Her death remains a mystery, and the question of who killed Jennifer still haunts those who remember her. Hopefully one day this case will be solved, and her family will finally receive the closure they've waited for so long. While magnet fishing, a Reddit user reeled in something unexpected. A soaked pillowcase, heavy and difficult to pull from the water. Inside were dozens of small jewelry boxes, all completely empty. The first thought that came to mind was that a jewelry thief might have dumped the evidence. Whatever the real story was, it turned out to be one of the strangest catches ever recorded. While boating through the dense waters of the Okefenokee Swamp in Georgia, a man captured something strange on camera. A dark head briefly broke the surface before slipping back beneath the water, only to reappear farther away, watching him. Its movements were slow, deliberate, and almost intelligent, as if it knew it was being observed. The short clip left everyone wondering what could be hiding in that murky swamp. It wasn't a gator, it wasn't a fish, it was something else entirely. On May 8, 2013, a group of fishermen in New Zealand came across something completely unexpected. A massive, decaying carcass washed up along the shore. Its shape was unlike anything they had ever seen before. Some believed it was a whale, while others whispered about sea monsters. To this day, the creature's true identity remains a mystery. Horned river creature. Deep in the Amazon, a group of tribesmen claim to have encountered something terrifying near a riverbank. The footage shows a dark, horned figure standing in shallow water, gripping what appears to be a long stick or staff. It didn't react to the shouting or the stones being thrown. Instead, it seemed focused on its struggling prey. The tribesmen hurled rocks in an attempt to save the animal, As the people filming moved closer, trying to scare the creature away, it barely moved. Its face never came into view, but the trapped animal was eventually freed. After 2 more minutes of eerie stillness, the creature simply vanished. What was meant to be a fun day at the beach in Destin, Florida, turned tense in an instant when 2 brothers tried to save a hammerhead shark's life. The footage begins with one man pulling a massive 10-foot hammerhead onto the shore, as hundreds of onlookers watch in disbelief. Another man climbs onto the shark, managing to flip it over and reveal a large fish hook embedded in its head. After a long, intense struggle, they finally remove the hook and prepare to guide the animal safely back into the ocean. The release wasn't easy, but eventually, their efforts paid off. The shark swam free, unharmed, and everyone walked away safely. Pale River Monster. At the edge of a quiet river, something pale stirred in the shallow water. It wasn't a reflection or a trick of light. There was definitely something there. As the camera zoomed in, a faint outline came into view. Smooth, human-like, but not quite right. It drifted slowly, almost merging with the current, before slipping back beneath the surface. Its eerie shape and unnaturally calm movements made it difficult to dismiss as just another animal. Whatever it was, it clearly didn't belong there. Indiana Jones's van break-in. Indiana Jones parked his van in the Lake District, expecting a peaceful fishing trip. But at 3 a.m., everything changed. Just after 3:01, while he was lying in bed inside the van, a brick suddenly smashed through the window, landing on the front seat.
Exactly 3:01 in the morning. I'm laying in the bed. It's a mess. I'll explain that shortly. Head was at this side, feet were down that side. I had a sheet over that part so no light could get in and all that. It adds a bit of sound deadening too. And then a brick came through that window straight over onto that seat. After the brick came in, an arm followed it, grabbed my work bag and shot back out the window.
Moments later, an arm reached through the shattered glass, grabbed his work bag, and disappeared into the night. Startled and unclothed, he bolted out barefoot, sprinting across the dark estate in pursuit of the thief. Fortunately, a good Samaritan later found the bag tossed over a fence. After tracing his work details, they contacted his company, who reached out to him. Relieved, he retrieved the bag, every single item still inside.
Phone call from work. Somebody had found my work bag chucked over somebody's fence. They'd gone through it, found my work details, contacted my company. My company then contacted me and said, your bag's been found. Great, here's the contact details. Amazing, great. Damn it, I've already spent all the money on ordering everything else. Grateful of today's mankind. They've done their research. They've found out who I was, where I was. They contacted work. I contacted my partner and she went round to a lovely little old lady and picked up the bag, gave her some biscuits to say thank you. And we got the work bag back. And do you know what? Everything was inside it. Absolutely everything.
Shaken but unharmed.
Grateful and shaken, he thanked the elderly woman who helped return it, even bringing her biscuits as appreciation. Since that night, Indy has reinforced his van with extra security, determined not to let another break-in catch him off guard. While walking along a quiet river, 2 men noticed something unusual lying near the bank. From a distance, it looked like a person, but as they got closer, they realized a long tail stretched out behind the figure. One man crept forward with the camera while the other stayed back. The figure didn't move, remaining completely still, half in the water, half out. When the video surfaced online, it went viral. Some insisted it was the spirit of a mermaid, while others claimed it was an illusion or a staged scene. Either way, no one could deny how unsettling it looked, sitting perfectly motionless at the water's edge. In 2012, 17-year-old Matthew Hales took an early morning trip to Clevedon Pier to photograph the rising tide for his A-level coursework. Using a long exposure time-lapse technique, each frame represented 30 seconds of captured time. Later that day, while reviewing the shots, Matthew noticed something unsettling. In one image, a lone figure stood on the pier facing the camera, but the pier had been closed at the time and wouldn't open for several more hours. Even more disturbing, the figure didn't appear in the frames before or after, meaning it must have stood there for at least 30 seconds before vanishing completely. Local fishermen have also reported strange appearances in the same area, which has since earned a chilling nickname, the Ghost Coast. Could this be the same presence others have claimed to see over the years? A diver exploring off the coast of Australia noticed a shape moving toward him in the distance. At first, it looked like a large fish, but as it drew closer, its true form became clear. A mermaid gliding effortlessly through the water. The creature swam directly above him, seemingly unbothered by his presence. It appeared only for a brief moment, but the diver managed to capture the entire encounter on camera. Many have called it the most convincing mermaid footage on the internet so far, especially given how naturally and smoothly the figure moved through the ocean depths. Deep in the Amazon, a group of fishermen got a shock they never expected. Instead of catching a fish, they spotted something small and glowing creeping toward their camera, a creature that looked like Pikachu's long-lost cousin. The clip quickly went viral, sparking countless wild theories about what it could be. But after a bit of research, the truth surfaced. It was actually a golden brush-tail possum, rare, adorable, and shining as if it had stepped straight out of a cartoon. This little creature didn't just steal the spotlight that day, it captured the entire internet's attention. Two people in hazmat suits were seen near a body of water in Utah, with several others from their team standing close behind. They appeared to be investigating what looked like remains already pulled from the water. Moments later, they were captured on video removing what seemed to be a merman. As the footage continued, the scene grew more mysterious. The creature appeared to have a long green tail. But before any more could be recorded, the individuals in hazmat suits placed it on a stretcher and disappeared behind the rocks. The video ended abruptly, leaving viewers with no explanation and no clue what really happened that day. What started as an exciting day out on the water quickly turned terrifying after a group of anglers hooked an unusually aggressive shark. The footage begins with one fisherman struggling to reel it in after a successful catch, while the captain moves in to assist.
We all up in your craw?
Yeah. Gotta get on it so I don't get around these traps or anything.
Together, they pull the shark closer to the boat in hopes of releasing it safely. But the situation escalates fast. The shark grows more agitated, thrashing violently and even slamming into the side of the boat. Despite the chaos, the crew manages to set the shark free without injury. It was a frightening encounter, but thanks to the captain's calm control, both man and shark walked away unharmed.
I saw some movement there. What was that?
When he noticed ripples spreading far out across the water. Moments later, something large began moving rapidly toward him. He quickly stepped back, recording just long enough to capture a dark, shadowy shape before it slipped beneath the surface again. Locals have long associated Bear Lake with stories of mysterious lake creatures, but this new footage reignited the legend. Whatever it was, it didn't resemble any fish or alligator known to inhabit the area, and that's exactly what made the sighting so unnerving. Off the coast of Los Cabos. In Mexico, a fisherman made an extraordinary discovery, a pink and white creature with strange, almost alien-like features. Experts later identified it as a swell shark, a small species native to the Pacific Ocean. Typically, these sharks have mottled brown skin for camouflage and 5 narrow gill slits on each side of the head. But this specimen was different. Its skin was pale and rough, and it had only 6 gill slits in total, something no one could explain. Some suggested it was albino or leucistic, which would account for the lack of pigmentation, but the missing gill slits remain a mystery. The fishermen eventually released the shark back into the sea, leaving the full truth of this bizarre catch unknown. Sea monster. While aboard a cruise ship, a man filmed something completely unexplainable. At first, it looked as though a massive, swirling wormhole was forming right in the middle of the ocean. Passengers gasped as the strange scene unfolded, But what exactly were they witnessing? Fortunately, it wasn't a sea monster. The vortex turned out to be an iceberg flipping over after the ship's wake struck it, causing the frozen mass to roll dramatically in the water. It was a terrifying sight for a moment, but thankfully, everyone on board was safe. What this fisherman captured in the ocean will shock you. While out at sea, he heard eerie squeaking noises surrounding his boat, as sirens circled his vessel, moving at incredible speed, since those are found in the Pacific Ocean, and he was in the Atlantic. These sirens seemed to be trying to lure him into the water, but he didn't fall for it. The footage went viral, and no one had an explanation.
This is crazy. I heard it.
I'm sure you've heard of the legendary creature known as the chupacabra, but for the people of Paraguay, they claim to have seen its remains firsthand. It was reportedly found along the riverbank of Itapúa, where locals quickly gathered around in disbelief. The body's skin was pale and hairless, and even the paws or hands were visible. One local got close enough to inspect it with a stick. Another clip later surfaced showing the same creature in nearby footage. As much as skeptics tried to debunk it, many agreed this particular sighting looked disturbingly authentic. In this shocking clip, a large, hairy figure was spotted walking along a beach near Eel River. It moved and looked exactly like a Sasquatch, though the person filming was too far away to capture it clearly. Still, the dark silhouette had arms far too long to belong to a human, and the way it moved didn't fit any monkey either. The footage remains difficult to understand. Uzbekistan monster. This video was uploaded a year ago, but the eerie tone of the clip has left everyone puzzled even now. A fisherman can be seen offering what seems like a gift to the entity said to live in the river. Rumor has it that, in return for such offerings, the creature allows them to fish freely. It might sound like nonsense, but the video certainly makes you wonder. River shadow. In Brunei, locals recorded something eerie moving through the river at dusk. The water was muddy and still, and just beneath the surface, a shape glided smoothly, as if it knew it was being watched. The camera zoomed in, but the fading light made it impossible to see clearly. Its slow, deliberate movement sent chills through those watching. Too strange to be a normal animal, people online argued about what it could be: a mutated fish, a lost creature, or something that shouldn't exist there. Whatever it was, it left the river feeling far less peaceful than before. Lake Giant. In December 2024, near Flathead Lake in Montana, several locals reported seeing something enormous moving just beneath the surface. The calm water suddenly rippled as a dark, massive shape drifted by. For a moment, people thought their eyes were playing tricks on them, but the movement was too smooth and steady to be a log or a passing boat's shadow. Some compared it to the Loch Ness Monster, claiming the shape seemed alive. The creature never resurfaced, but the brief footage left everyone wondering what truly lurks in Flathead's deep waters. And since Loch Ness isn't in America, this had to be another unknown creature. In 2019, a group of friends fishing off the coast of Hawaii noticed something strange in the sky. Unusual colors flashing faintly above the ocean. "It's not that color," one said. "You don't even see a blink on it." The object seemed to pulsate, holding perfectly still over the water. "Look how slow this is going."
It wasn't that color, and you don't even see it blinking on the thing. Except on the ocean, it seems to pulsate.
This thing just stands still. I'm going to be amazed because look how slow this is going.
Do you hear it?
No sound whatsoever. You see the light off the...
Oh yeah, it's hitting something. It's searching for something out there. Wow.
Look at this.
Look, it's just stalled out there.
A glowing orb hovered silently just above the surface. No sound, no propellers, nothing resembling any aircraft they'd ever seen. It stayed there, unmoving, as if searching for something. To this day, they still can't explain it, but they're sure it wasn't anything ordinary. A fishing trip in the bright waters of Key West took a sudden turn when a man's bait caught the attention of 3 hungry sharks nearby. At the beginning of the video, he can be seen calmly navigating the open ocean, trying his luck at catching fish to take home. After a while, he reels in a fairly large one, but quickly realizes he isn't the only one interested in it.
Oh, shark. No. No. No.
Shocked, he nervously pulls in what's left of his catch, hoping to keep the sharks from taking another bite. After retrieving the remains, he comes up with an idea, attaching his GoPro to a pole to fend them off. Eventually, all 3 sharks turn away, leaving him alone to continue his adventure in peace. A man headed to a beach in Florida to fish when he stumbled onto something unusual.
Hey, big storm last night, Destin, Florida. These sharks' teeth are everywhere. Look, there's one. There's another one too. They're everywhere, man. Everywhere.
After a heavy storm hit Destin the night before, shark teeth were scattered everywhere. He pointed out one piece after another, amazed at the sheer amount. Some believe the teeth could be ancient remains, possibly stirred up by the storm's power from a megalodon. Others think they might belong to some massive creature still roaming the ocean. This has sparked renewed theories that the megalodon might still exist. So what exactly did he uncover that day? 2 fishermen were recording their work trip when everything took a dangerous turn. A shark burst out of the ocean, launching straight upward.
Whoa! Holy crap! It dove right out of the water!
You see that?
Man!
Only a thin sheet of steel stood between one of them and the predator's impact. In that moment, he realized just how exposed he truly was. The moment showed how brutal the open ocean could be. A quiet paddleboarding outing on Lake Pleasant in Arizona turned dangerous when a sudden dust storm rolled in. The sky dimmed, winds became violent, and visibility vanished. The girls dialed 911 as panic set in. The lake is known for claiming lives. They never shared updates on how they escaped, but they clearly survived. The footage eventually surfaced on TikTok after the harrowing storm left them shaken on the unpredictable desert lake that. On July 20th, 2025, Bowley left for a fishing trip in northern Queensland. His morning started calmly, just another routine outing on the water, until everything went wrong.
I just got the hook in my thumb really bad. Like, really bad.
A hook drove straight through his thumb, leaving him in intense pain and shock. The injury was severe.
Look at that. That's a doozy. Far out. Well, that's probably my day ruined. Well, that right there is not exactly what you want to happen. I don't even know what to do, man. I'm 100 k's by out. It's nearly gone through my whole
nearly punching all the way through, and he was stranded far offshore with no one nearby to assist. Realizing he couldn't continue, he turned back toward land, hoping to find help before the situation worsened. Fortunately, he encountered someone who could assist and managed to get the hook removed safely. A few days later, Bowley returned to the water. 2 men were out fishing when one of them noticed what looked like a person standing on the surface of the water. As he moved in closer, he realized it was another fisherman balancing on an overturned boat.
Only you were on it? How long ago did you capsize? How long ago? How long has it been?
Yesterday.
Oh wow.
I came fishing and the water comes to the bottom.
Want a water?
Can you take me into Bimini?
No, man. We got a water for you here.
Okay.
You don't want it? Okay.
You alright?
It was just you on the vessel?
Yeah, only me.
Man, you're 100 miles from Bimini.
Oh.
This is South Florida. You're off Boynton Beach or Boca right now.
Everyone healthy. Everyone fasting.
Coast Guard's coming. You want a water? You want a water? Okay.
He was the only one aboard when it flipped. The vessel had rolled earlier, water flooding through the back and pulling it down. When asked how long he had been there, he indicated it had happened the day before. He explained he had been fishing when water started rushing in through the rear. The men offered him water and kept checking on him while keeping some distance. He said he had been alone on the vessel. They informed him he was drifting roughly 100 miles from Bimini and now deep in South Florida waters, far off from where he should have been. The Coast Guard was already on the way. His unclear responses made the situation feel odd, as though he wasn't sharing the full truth. Experienced sailors often warn that encounters like this can carry hidden risks. The two handled it properly, offering assistance but avoiding bringing a stranger on board, knowing how quickly a situation at sea can turn dangerous. Tate from the channel Fishing with Tate was recording a normal fishing vlog when everything suddenly shifted.
Yeah, are you good? Are y'all good? Do y'all know what's going on? I'm currently in the shooter over there. Where at? Yeah, y'all need to know.
While out on the lake, he received a call warning him about a potentially dangerous situation nearby. Moments later, gunshots rang out from the woods surrounding the water.
Gunfire, brother.
Realizing how serious things were, he and his friend decided to leave immediately.
Reference, right here's the map of where we are right now. The gunshots literally could have been from an active shooter. No cap, not even kidding. It's really dangerous that we're even out here right now. The guy's supposedly in the woods right now. If you can see, there's woods everywhere. So, I'm not just trying to build this up. It's pretty sketchy.
To show viewers their position, he pulled up a map of the area, explaining that the sounds could easily have come from an active shooter. It wasn't an exaggeration. The situation was genuinely dangerous, especially with the suspect possibly hiding somewhere in the tree line. Thick forest covered the entire area, making it impossible to know where the shooter might have been. He emphasized that he wasn't trying to dramatize the moment. The entire situation felt genuinely unsettling, and staying there any longer would have been a real risk. These friends were enjoying a relaxed day of fishing when things took a turn.
Somewhere on the beach.
During a cast, the hook shot directly into his buddy. A lure meant for catching fish ended up snagging human skin instead. Luckily, the injury wasn't as serious as it looked. Still, it's a reminder to stay careful while fishing. A fisherman moved toward a bridge when he noticed another boat nearby. A man was lying there asleep, or at least that's what it appeared to be. He was stretched out, looking completely relaxed. He must have been exhausted to drift off in that spot. Would you have checked on him or let him rest? Jazz, an angler who regularly records his fishing outings, returned to the Yarra River, the same place where a tree had once crashed dangerously close to him. This time, the fish weren't cooperating, so he moved to another spot, and that's when things changed.
Nice. Where did he go? He's gone, man. There he is. He's underwater. There he is. Tiger. I could hear him coming down the hill. I just couldn't get away because I was sliding down the hill. He flared up. He's right in that middle bit of shade there. He was sitting right where my rods are, and I slipped on the grass and I almost fell on top of him because I couldn't stop.
He heard it coming down the hill but couldn't get away fast enough because he was sliding. The snake raised its body in a defensive posture, settling in the patch of shade right where he had placed his rods. While trying to reposition himself, he slipped on the grass and nearly fell directly onto the snake. In such a remote area, getting medical help would have been nearly impossible. The close call left him shaken as he realized just how narrowly he had avoided what could have been a fatal encounter. In November 2012, Jose Salvador Alvarenga, a 36-year-old fisherman from El Salvador, set out on a short shark fishing trip off Mexico's coast. A violent storm struck, destroying their equipment and leaving him and his crewmate, 22-year-old Ezequiel Cordoba, drifting helplessly.
Padre, Señor bendito, digo yo. que me volcó la lancha. Al segundo tumbo me tiré. Ya, la lancha, yo andaba nadando. Yo me alejaba de la lancha porque no me golpeara. La lancha la aire. Y me tiré nadando. Llegando a tierra, ya no pude caminar.
With no supplies left, they survived by catching fish, turtles, and birds, and by drinking rainwater, turtle blood, and even their own urine. When food was scarce, Alvarenga chewed his fingernails to ease hunger. After 10 weeks, Cordoba died from illness and starvation, leaving Alvarenga alone. He continued drifting for over 14 months, carried roughly 6,500 miles across the Pacific. Passing ships never noticed him. On January 30th, 2014, he finally reached Ibn Atoll in the Marshall Islands, where locals found and rescued him. His ordeal has inspired many and raised questions, but it remains one of the most extraordinary survival stories ever recorded. On the Trinity River, YouTuber Blue Gabe set out hoping to catch catfish, but ended up hooking something far larger than he expected.
There she goes.
There you go. Come on over there. There's it. Oh! That's the biggest gar. Grab that GoPro. Okay. Grab that GoPro. This is the biggest alligator gar I've ever seen.
As he worked the rod, he realized he had connected with the biggest alligator gar he had ever encountered. The rod bent under the immense pressure, and the fight dragged on, forcing him to push his strength to the limit. The mud along the bank sucked him in up to his knees as he tried to gain better footing, underscoring how massive the fish truly was.
No! Look at me. I'm in the mud up to my knees. Oh my goodness. This is a big one. This is a big one. Look at his old nose. This is a 100+ pound fish. CeeLo.
See you, baby.
CeeLo. I'm actually nervous with this fish.
You need some help, brother?
No.
You got her good. She's not going nowhere.
Yeah, but they'll hit you in. Oh my gosh. They will hit you in the head. There's no way I'm gonna be able to pick this fish up. My foot's there. Look at this. Giant. No way. It's bigger than me.
Its worn, aged snout made it clear this was an old and exceptionally large gar, easily weighing well over 100 pounds. The sheer size of the creature made him nervous, knowing how violently these fish can thrash and how dangerous a strike could be. When he finally pulled it in close, he realized lifting it would be nearly impossible. The fish was enormous, bigger than he had anticipated, and seeing it up close only highlighted its prehistoric appearance. After an exhausting battle, the giant gar finally surfaced, revealing its full size. These ancient fish can grow beyond 8 feet and exceed 300 pounds, earning a reputation as living fossils with a lineage dating back more than 100 million years. Honoring the river and the creature, Gabe released the massive gar back into the depths. In December 2002, kayaker Curtis May and his friends took on the Five Kings waterfalls in Chiapas, Mexico.
Okay. I'm not dead.
After completing the third drop, Curtis drifted off his intended line and was dragged behind the falls, becoming trapped in the pounding water for 75 minutes. Every attempt he made to push himself free failed as the force of the current kept him pinned. His team worked desperately to reach him. Wesley forced his way through a tight opening behind the falls, while Isaac pulled from the outside using a rope. coordinating their efforts as the water roared around them. The situation was chaotic, with both rescuers pushing themselves to their limits to get close enough to help. After repeated attempts and their combined strength, Curtis finally managed to break free from the waterfall's grip. He emerged exhausted but alive, shaken from the ordeal, but able to stand with the support of his friends. The incident proved how extreme conditions on the water can become, and how vital experience, teamwork, and calm decision-making are in dangerous situations. Without the coordinated effort of his crew, the outcome could have been very different. During that same period in the waters of western Antarctica, a team of researchers from the University of Virginia identified a previously unknown predator. When the ROV's light struck it, the creature measured about half a meter in length, its body nearly transparent. Its jaws were filled with hundreds of tiny teeth that looked almost like glass. This species, called Acrothodus gouldi, the Antarctic dragonfish, survives in absolute darkness where temperatures stay below freezing. Its tissues hold specialized enzymes that stop its blood from freezing, and its clear teeth reflect virtually no light, letting it stalk prey unseen. It shows that even in Earth's most punishing places, nature still shapes flawless hunters, and it raises how many others remain unseen below in the deep dark ocean today still. In Japan's Suruga Bay, marine researchers captured video that startled people worldwide. They lowered a steel cage loaded with bait more than a mile down to monitor small sharks, but instead a huge dark form emerged and filled the entire view. The cage, over 30 feet across, suddenly seemed tiny as the massive creature glided by. Its scale surpassed even the whale shark, the largest documented fish on Earth. The recording ended in silence, with only the metallic vibration of the cage shaking in the deep. Specialists had a single guess. It might be a surviving megalodon, an ancient predator believed to have vanished 3 million years ago. But if that is accurate, how could something so immense remain alive for so long without ever being noticed by humans? And then from the frigid waters of the Black Sea came another finding that stunned the internet. A Russian diver named Irina Volva recorded footage believed by many to show an ancient marine reptile, the plesiosaur. In the clip, she moves beside a massive creature with a long neck and wide flippers, drifting slowly through the hazy water. Scientists quickly began debating how a species thought to have disappeared more than 65 million years ago could still be alive today. Some argued it was genuine evidence of a prehistoric survivor, while others insisted it was advanced cheap. But if the footage wasn't fabricated, what else might have remained hidden beneath the Black Sea for countless years? Yet even that discovery was mild compared to what followed, creatures straight from legend appearing on camera, edging closer to humans than anyone believed possible. The first clip is said to have been recorded by a research crew operating near McMurdo Station, where temperatures can fall to -40 degrees Fahrenheit. While drilling through the ice to obtain deep water samples, their steel hook suddenly caught on something unusually heavy, and when they hoisted it upward, the entire group went silent in shock. A gray, frozen body more than 6 feet long slowly rose from the ice. Its head was disproportionately large, its mouth hanging open to expose rows of teeth resembling those of a shark, and its arms ended in long, curved claws that looked like corroded metal. Some even reported hearing a horrifying cry, as though it was fighting against the researchers. It might have been an ancient predator that once lived in the deep sea, related to the marine reptile known as the mosasaur, or possibly a form of evolution unknown to science. Others, however, believed it was manufactured, the result of a hidden experiment buried for decades. And what unsettled everyone the most was this: after that day, its fate became a mystery. Did they truly awaken something that was never meant to exist beneath the Antarctic ice? When Antarctic divers first came across this fish, they believed their eyes were deceiving them. Its body looked transparent, its organs gleaming under their lights, yet there was no red hue, no visible vessels, and no normal circulation. This is the icefish, the only vertebrate on Earth lacking hemoglobin, the protein that gives blood its color and carries oxygen. Instead, its body holds clear plasma, allowing oxygen to pass directly through its skin and water near freezing, where ordinary blood would turn solid. The icefish endures because its plasma stays liquid and its body temperature matches the surrounding ocean. It stands as a contradiction to biology: no blood, no pigment, no protective enzymes, yet it survives and reproduces. That is why researchers call it Antarctica's paradox, a creature that challenges evolutionary limits. Before you is an 8-limbed creature creeping slowly along the ocean floor, yet its legs stretch nearly 1.5 feet, while